I want to call order the June 1st special meeting of the Ascension Parish Council. Would everyone please stand for the invocation by Councilman Lohr, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, as we gather here tonight on this warm summer's evening, we just ask a special blessing on all those poor and elderly who are suffering under this extreme heat, and just ask you find a way to comfort them and keep them safe. And also, as we meet to look at the lines and go through this process, we just ask that you guide us in this, and that whatever shakes out is in the best interests of the people of Ascension. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chris. Madam Secretary, roll call. Let's note that Councilman Bell and Councilman Valentine are absent. There'll be no chair additions. Public comment period. Anyone wishing to speak on the agenda item, please sign in with the Secretary and you'll be given time to speak at that time. This is a public hearing, and it's the last of several public hearings to provide the community with information regarding the redistricting process and to receive public input on the redistricting of the 11 council districts within the parish. I'd like to bring Mr. John Diaz, our consultant, give us a little overview of what we got so far.
So if anybody wants to look at some of the redistricting 101 topics, we did definitely cover that. Cinnamon, can we get the PowerPoint up? Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, guys. I brought forth today, after input from you and the public, two plans, Plan A, Plan B. Districts 3, 8, 4, 7, and 5. You can stand down. Nothing has changed in your districts from anything else we've seen previous with these two plans. Plan A, for the most part, but we went in to District 1 to get his benchmark a little closer to what it was. We basically split Precinct 49, which is precinct here in downtown Donaldsonville. We split that. We took about 153 people from that precinct, put it into District 1. That brought his minority population from 73.4 to 73.8. In addition to that, Plan A, we add just one census block. It's one census block, which is considered the A-Bend community, of about 174 people to District 1 as well. That essentially brings his District 1's minority population from 73.8 to 74.03. These two moves combined forced us to then take District 2 further into District 6. Once again, these lines are placeholders, but I tried to find a physical boundary that was logical. Basically, the previous plan had the boundary between District 6 and 2 at Highway 429, which is the road right in front of Santa Monica Middle School. I just moved it back to New River, which gave us enough population to get 6 where he needed to be, and 2 as well. So that's for the most part, the shifts in Plan A from here. Also, you'll notice we made a couple of changes to improve compactness in these districts in this area. Essentially, we took this part of precinct, I think it's 27, put that in District 10, and then as a result, put this part that was previously in District 11, put that in 9 to get everybody within deviation. It improved our compactness in both 10 and 9. So overall, it was, the move enhanced the plan. Also, the population for each one of these is all within deviation. Once again, apologize, can't see the chart. It is on the website. Plan B, once again, nothing changes with the exception of some modifications in District 1 and District 2. Is that we took that one census block, the A-Bend community, put it back into, which gave us a wider entry for District 2 to cross from the east to the west bank, but it also avoided us from having to go further into Santa Monica and move 2 further north into 6. So this is essentially restores the border to what, or the boundary for this district to how we had it in previous maps, which is Highway 429. Once again, both of these plans are as compact or more compact than our current districts. All of them are within deviation. The difference between A and B essentially is District 1 is at 73.8 in Plan B, and in Plan A is at 74. So 0.25 percentage points difference. So with that, we'll take any questions or public comments.
Yeah, John, I got a question for you.
Yep.
On Plan A that you had up there, basically you're saying that one moved, District 1 moved, so District 2 moved, and then District 6 had to move.
Correct.
And it's actually from 431, Highway 431, going east along 429, and it follows along Highway 22 all the way to Highway 933, I think it is. But Pookie's Story is an AC. It rides above, where New River is above Highway 22.
Correct.
And you also mentioned that there was some movement in Districts 9, 10, kind of, but that had nothing to do with this,
No,
right?
not at all.
That's just reformation, compactness. All right. So the numbers that was taken from District 6 to finalize District 2 were within the allowable numbers?
Correct.
Okay. Any councilman? Yes, Mr. Joseph.
On that benchmark number, just a minute, on the benchmark number.
Correct.
Pull your mic down, OJ.
On the benchmark number, is that you must get the maximum as close as possible. That you
Reasonable.
As reasonable, close as possible.
The actual word they use is reasonable. So,
In which this Plan A, which I'm requesting, will meet the Justice Department requirements based on the number.
Plan A will meet Justice Department requirements as reasonable. Plan B will as well. I mean, I can't tell you what is going to be approved by Justice Department. They won't tell you in advance. In fact, we've called them on several occasions with other projects, and they're not your answer desk. They evaluate the plan, send it to, go back and read our guidelines, send us the plan. So what they define as reasonable is yet to be determined. Do they think that Plan B, since we don't send District 2 down the Mississippi River, is more reasonable? I don't know. I mean, we won't know that until we submit it to it. So it's just, unfortunately, there's no hard guidelines as to what's reasonable and how they define it. So
Just Department determined.
Yep.
And just to make sure that on the west side of the river, there will be two councilmen. It's not one councilman. They will have two. All plans do have two councilmen sharing that west side.
Right.
That's it.
All right. Any other council members? Yes, Mr. Shake Snyder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, from what we had on the initial mapping, I'll discuss, obviously, we have some interaction between District 1, 2, and 6. We had some discussions about trying to get closer to the exact benchmark of Councilman Joseph, 74% minority. And during the discussion, we were able to come up with an area within the center of town that was split, that they had to split a precinct.
Yes. Precinct 49.
That would put him at a higher percentage. I think it was 98% minority.
95.
95.
Yep.
Okay, I knew it was something around there. And it puts him within 0.2 percentage points of his ideal.
Of the measure we're getting
of the
to, yeah.
benchmark that he had
Yeah.
before. Okay. He's also that 97%, that's, on 01, that's above the benchmark for total population?
No, he's still below.
Okay. Well,
It's 2.5% below what we can maximally possibly get you, and I think Oliver will agree that 74.03 is about as far as you can take it.
Yes.
yeah. What is, and when we go up through here, through Aben area, I'm very, very, very uncomfortable with having the river being the only area that connects. I think that's, in my opinion, that's just gerrymandered. I think you should be able to come across, straight across the river. And so, also, it would also push further into, I know Councilman Kluwat, base area in the Sanamo area, a great deal was given up in that area, which is fine, but I mean, he was working with people to give up a lot of his base area in the spirit of cooperation, and I don't think that we ought to try to go back and have him lose any more, or that district lose any more of that core area, and not have a connection between the two. So, for all those reasons, I'd be supporting Plan B, and I think everybody would get it'd be a fair assessment for everyone within that area. So
That's all you got, sir.
that's it.
Any other council member?
One thing, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Dempsey Lambert.
John, I really have a problem with losing this down here at the Pine Crest. Highway 931 was always the boundary. We had discussed some other options. Did you have that?
No, we did.
Okay.
When we discussed them, it was too late for me to have it posted on the website for 2 days. And I think I stated one of the meetings, I would like to have everything out there for 2 days.
Going further northwest, District 7 and 11, do you have anything that these other districts can take on or move?
Yeah, there's an option for District 7 to take from the far northern part of your district up to, I think he would take both sides of Muddy Creek Road, and I think the actual creek that would go to is Muddy Creek, essentially.
Mr. Chair, I would like some more options laid out here on some of these plans before we go any further with them.
Well, I guess just to say that we want more options, we can each continue to go to the table and go to the well and move it around, because I'm chairing tonight, I'm just asking, is basically, are we looking at 8 council members or 9 council members or 10 that want to do some movement here, All right. I'll step away from the chair if I need to, but I do represent District 6, so I'm going to tell you, and I say I have, they have, the people of Sanamo have given up a large portion of the core area of their district. And what's the heart and soul there? And they moved a lot. And we understand the fact that we have, our population is what it is. Hadn't been a lot of gain in population. The numbers have gained, so we got to creep further north to grab a number. And I'm going in the area that isn't heavily populated either, But at some point, within the whole redistricting rules and laws, do we have the responsibility to hold on to the core area of the character of any district? A lot of talk's been given to the minority district because basically that's where the numbers have had to move to. And sadly, District 1 has lost population, you know, total population over the years. And, you know, it's moved over on the east side. The districts up in the northwest corner, they've bunched up, so they're compacting down to get the numbers they need. But are we looking at the total character of each district and maintaining the character of that district? I understand as I represent those people, but I also as a legislative body, I understand what I got to do. And that things change, and sometimes we got to work with it. I don't have a problem with that. But are we just continually chipping in there and chipping in there? And like was brought up on Plan A, is that meandering to go along the levee?
Only the Justice
5 to
Department
7 miles?
Yeah, only the Justice Department can.
Huh?
Only the Justice Department can tell it.
Okay.
You know, so it's up to interpretation.
I mean, if you look at the river, yeah, it's got a wide berth, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the land mass, it's like cross the bridge and crawl along the levee.
I feel comfortable submitting, you know, either one of those plans to
Okay.
Justice Department. You know. I mean, the difference between them is 0.25%, which is not that significant. I think you can still make the argument in Plan B that, you know, the minority candidate of choice will get elected from District 1.
Well, what is, like I said, it's just that, you know, this is my first term, and this is the first time I've come up against this. Several people here, probably the first time they've come up with it, you know. And I'm sure it's not an easy process. It never was. But we got to move with it. We got to do something. We got to send something forward.
Guys, I think we're 90% there. It's going to be a very small variation of Plan A and B just from communicating with both of y'all. Dempsey and Chris, you know, Dempsey, if you want to look for another place, I mean, you have to lose population. It's just unavoidable. I just suggest that wherever you lose it, you try to make sure that it doesn't, you know, reduce the compactness of the districts. The Justice Department could care less if you take Pinecrest or I mean, that's just not an issue that they're going to look at. But we do need to, whatever, you know, wherever we take it, let's keep it compact. So.
And that's what I'm looking for, compact, and, you know, keeping the district lines as fairly straight as we can, because, you know, these things, man, are all over now, and, you know, just helping the constituent know what district they're in. And, you know, and Mr. Chairman, I appreciate you bringing up those facts, but there's a lot of this stuff here. 25 years of some of these projects are coming to an end, and this is some of the things that I'm looking at, and that's why I feel so strongly about it.
Yes, Mr. Todd Lambert.
Yeah, and you know, my district, I ditto a lot of what Randy's talking about. My district is almost changing in half, I guess. I'm going all the way into Dutchtown, never been nowhere close to that, but I realize what we have to do. And, you know, I want to thank the people of District 9 that I'm going to be losing. I'm going to thank them tonight, you know, let them know that I appreciate them letting me work for them. And I look forward to the new people that I'm going to be going into their district. And it's just one of them things we have to move on with. And I agree with Randy, you know, Randy and I's district is changing quite a bit. And I'm accepting it, and let's move forward with it.
Yes, Mr. Adrian Thompson.
Hey, John, are we at the best we can do is 62% in District 3?
District 3, the best we can do is 61.
61, about 62%,
Yeah.
roundabout.
Yeah.
So, there's no other areas we can go in and pick up some more minority?
No. I mean, we can go back and look at it one more time, but I've just about everything.
Well, we had talked about it. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure and find out, had you taken another stab at it?
What was your benchmark before, Adrian?
62.
62?
62, and yet now
61 and
Change.
some.
change.
4.
Any other questions for John? John, thank you very much. Do I have speakers? That'd be a good deal.
Motion open
We have a
public
motion
hearing.
open public hearing by Mr. Todd Lambert, second by Mr. Adrian Thompson. Our first speaker, Ms. Catherine Goppel.
Good evening. Census data shows that minority population has increased 3% in Ascension over the last 10 years and is now 23%. Ascension has 2 minority districts, District 1 with a population of 76% minority and District 3 with a minority population of 62%. I believe the 2 maps presented tonight are an improvement on the maps previously discussed. Minority District 3 remains the same, but District 1 and 2 lines have been drawn differently, and that's been explained. Plan A does include A-Bend, which was requested by the residents at the last public hearing. They wanted to be a part of District 1. This will boost the population by 178. This is important because District 1 includes the jail, which has 491 people included in the population, but these people are ineligible to vote. Plan A also gives Precinct 48 to District 2 and divides Precinct 49 next door between 1 and 2, raising the minority population to 74% over the previous plan's 73%. Plan A shows a small line for District 2 running along the river in order to connect to Precinct 48, 49, and 50 on the west bank. Plan A pushes District 2 deeper into District 6, giving more of the Santa Ma area in Precinct 27 to District number 2. Precinct 17 is completely now in District 9. As in the previous 3 proposals, Precinct 19, which has a population of 7,499 people, is divided now between Districts 8, 9, and 10, and this was a necessary division. Precinct 21 is split between Districts 9 and 11. Precinct 23, 24, and 25 have been divided between Districts 9 and 10. Precinct 30 has been divided between 3 and 10. You have presented the numbers and demographics. The numbers represent people who will vote in the district and whom you will represent if reelected. You will choose one of these 2 proposals to submit to the Justice Department. Is the appearance of the map in Plan B more important than the benchmark in Plan A? I believe the benchmark to keep minority districts well represented and required by the Justice Department is the most important. In Plan A, total population and minority population are greater, and the minority voter population is 1% greater than in Plan B. I would favor Plan A, which brings minority district number 1 closer to the benchmark required by law. I'm submitting these comments along with supporting documentation into the public record that will be sent to the Justice Department. Thank you.
Next we have Ms. Charlotte Johnson.
Thank you, Councilman. In drawing the district lines for 2 minority districts, number 1 and number 3, it should be noted that the West Bank has consistently had slow to negative growth over the last decade, from a negative 40% to 13%, while areas both north and east of the present minority districts have had an increase of 134% to 214% growth. District 2 had 214% growth. This is the district I live in, the second highest in the parish, and is poised to continue and probably exceed the record over the next 10 years. Presently, there are at least 1,500 plus lots approved but not built yet on the east bank of District 2, 1,200 plus in the Riverton Plantation T&D behind Pelican Point, and 333 lots in the Orange Grove subdivision on Highway 22. This does not include smaller filings, Pelican Crossing, Pelican Point, or River Ridge located in the same vicinity. District number 2 should be configured toward the minimum deviation of 9,200 population. Plan A is preferable as the total population is less. I ask that these comments be placed into the public record submitted to the Justice Department. Thank you.
Gail Holland.
I think basically I have a question of clarification, if that's okay, not so much
Sure.
comment. I was at the last meeting, and I believe there were 3 plans at that meeting. Are we saying that those 3 plans are no longer the 3 plans that are going to be submitted to the Justice Department, but that these 2 plans are the ones that are going to be submitted? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we can rest assured that these are the 2 plans that will be submitted?
There's only one going to the Justice
There's only
Department
one
once
will
the
go.
council votes on it.
But these are the two that are gonna be.
That's the two we have in front of us tonight for public viewing based on comments from the prior meetings and adjustments made by the consultant to try to work that in and see where it stands.
Okay, and when will you decide, vote on the two plans and decide which one will be?
I think we have a time frame, John. It's definitely not tonight, so you don't have to worry about that.
I mean, I think we're, very small modification of these two plans. I would go ahead and, get the Chris, let's get the changes in, you guys want, make sure it doesn't produce some package, and let's bring these two plans back up for a vote the next time you guys have a chance.
Of course, we have a meeting tomorrow night, council meeting, but we're not gonna do it then. It's not on the agenda for that.
Okay, those are my
I'm gonna
questions.
say, well, let me try to give you an answer for everybody, basically, is, John, what's 16? So we could possibly have what you think is, even with a few little small adjustments and things like that, put together, posted, and where everybody can see. And at the 16th meeting, that we could possibly have that on the agenda to vote, go towards the Justice Department with. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other comments by anybody? John, you have anything else for us?
Motion to close the public hearing.
We have a motion to close public hearing by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Todd Lambert. We'll move on to item number 6.
Motion adjourned, Mr.
We have a
Chairman.
motion adjourned by Mr. Todd Lambert, second by Mr. Benny Johnson. Thank y'all. We are adjourned.